Need high-quality video to promote your event, business, or band? We can help.
We're Pixel Pond, a video production team based in the Pacific Northwest, providing high-quality content to clients across the U.S. and Canada.
Whether you want coverage of your live event to promote for next year, or need a camera and a camera operator for your next big project, we can accommodate projects of all sizes.
Your story is important. Visit pixelpondllc.com or send an email to info@pixelpondllc.com to get started today. We can't wait to work with you.
Parental warning. This podcast contains adult content. It's not explicit, but you might not want your kids asking later why you were laughing, so this is your heads up. Please podcast responsibly.
Coming up on Gamers Week podcast. I really don't like you knocking on the PlayStation 3 that much. You know that I love it.
She's an apologist for the PlayStation 3, I think, but she's also a realist.
The most successful tweet I ever had on Twitter in like 11 years was me saying, I love the PlayStation 3. There, I said it. Thousands of likes.
Poking me in the side with a fucking knife every time you say
you're
something.
Sensitive. You're a sensitive boy.
I am sensitive.
Suck is never coming back.
Oh, why would you say that?
Because you scream like that and it's hot.
So my aunt tells a story about when she was in college, and it's like once every couple of weeks, somebody would leave like a 10-pound turd in the toilet at the dorm. And they referred to this person as the phantom shitter. And eventually it got to the point where it was such a joke that one night they brought out like velvet rope. And people come in and look at it and leave.
It's like a full moon. And tonight, the phantom shitter will strike.
Yeah.
Are we ready to go?
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, do it.
Do it. Dungy says Mario Movie 2, Mario Harder was pretty good.
Mario Harder.
Yeah, that came out today, didn't it?
Mario Boogaloo was harder.
Electric Boogaloo.
It couldn't have come out today. It's a Wednesday.
Yeah, it came out today.
April Fool's Day.
Well, okay. Fuck. Like, there's two things happened today that I'm just like, I'm out of the loop on. The Artemis 2 launch. Like, I didn't realize we were going to the moon. And then Super Mario Movie 2. I'm just like, I'm kind of lost in my own thing today.
You can't beat all the other box office records if you don't cheat a little.
They're extending it, the extended weekend, the opening weekend. That's kind of unfair, right?
As I just said, if you don't cheat a little.
If you cheat, you will win.
Yeah.
No, cheaters never win.
Cheaters always win.
They always lose in the long run. They might win.
This is not an after school special.
This isn't the like splash page on every arcade in the 90s. It says only losers do drugs.
Correct.
Right.
And on the NART game. Yeah.
Yep.
See, Webhead says Marvel movies have been coming out on Wednesdays for years.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
As we established, you're out of the loop.
Yeah. Yes. And on that note, let's go ahead and start the show. Welcome to Gamers Week podcast. Like the name says, we analyze the best, worst, and weirdest headlines of the past week in the video game industry. This is episode 206, and today is Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. My name is Donnie G Retro, and I will be your host this evening, but I am not alone. As you can see, I have my two lovely co-hosts here with me. My first co-host loves chaos, because in his video store, he put the adult films right on the floor for everybody to see. No curtain, no back room, just right there on a lighted shelf, right near the entrance. Ryan, how are you doing this evening?
I'm all about exposing things.
You don't want us exposing ourselves.
Yeah. Well, in Ryan's defense, he hadn't unlocked the curtains yet. So
It's true. It is true.
that's probably the back of the catalog.
And if I remember right, too, they were bootleg porno tapes.
Bootleg. Oh, God. Those were homemade.
Yeah. Position the camera like, oh, is it in? Am I in frame?
Oh, God. And my second co-host has started a new business of dreaming of your success and will gladly tell you what that is for $49.95. Blue, how are you doing this evening?
Your business is a lot slower than I thought. I guess everybody doesn't want to be successful.
Well, you were just telling us that you had a dream about our friend last night, that he ran a video game store and he was being successful. So
I guess they're just not dreaming as big as our friend last night. It was like 3 stories. Like if you think about the toy store in Home Alone 2, but make it a retro game store, that's what was in my dream.
That's Super Potato in Japan.
Yeah, but it was here.
I'd love to go there.
And you don't want to know what I dreamt.
Fingers. We talked about that. Yeah.
Fingers.
We talked about it. Yeah.
Want to start your own podcast? Maybe a deep dive into how the Irish word for Santa Claus literally translates to Christmas Daddy?
Oh, yes, Daddy.
You'll need a place to host your show. Buzzsprout has a user-friendly interface, great analytics, and resources to help you grow your audience. Just use the link in the description to get a $20 credit when you sign up for a paid plan. Let's go ahead and take a look at our reviews, reactions, and requests for the week. Mogak says, is it possible that players aged out of Fortnite or just tried something else? Also, it's a terrible monetary system, and younger players these days are significantly more aware of how predatory these practices are once implemented.
Which is great.
Education.
Yeah.
True. I'm not sure, how young are we talking about? Because my kids obviously still don't understand it, and they're 16 and 13. Daryl T says, post-game depression is totally real, and I would add that it's often heightened by the musical score that accompanies it. Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, and even Undertale are personal examples. Specifically the balloon ending in Chrono Trigger. I also feel blue sadness with the ending of Buffy. I felt that when Star Trek Voyager ended.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know Voyager gets a lot of shit, but I actually really liked Voyager. I like Deep Space Nine. I'm not a big fan of the Next Generation, though. I know.
I don't watch Star Trek, but that feels blasphemous.
Yeah.
It is. It's extremely... And then Redox, I guarantee you, is about to come.
She's about to log off and never come back.
Him.
You know what I think, though, would go perfect with the Chrono Trigger score? Playing it in the background while reading your Chrono Trigger fan fiction.
Ooh.
For listeners later, he is giving a finger right up close to the camera so it cannot be mistaken.
I shouldn't talk. I shouldn't share my passions with you assholes.
If you're passionate, we will support you in that passion.
Yes. Put it out there for everybody to listen to, man. I guarantee.
And then mercilessly mock me for it. Yeah. It's like that meme where it's that guy or that blob that's in a box and he comes out, right, and does something and somebody punches him back in. That's you guys. You punch me back inside my box. No more oversharing. Save that for the end.
There you go. Tiken says, let he who has not written a steamy scene with Frog cast the first stone.
I think we just did.
He goes by Glenn in that one.
Glenn the Frog.
Oh, Glenn.
And last but not least, Funyun says, dead serious, I was willing to wait for the nipple tassels and makeup, and I'm an audio listener.
See, I told you. This is what the audience wants.
Maybe.
Gotta give them what they need.
Next year. Maybe next year. Yeah.
On Nip Nip Day next year.
Next year, maybe. I said maybe. All right. You can write down the fucking receipt on that one. I said maybe. Spell it out.
I'm clipping this regardless.
Maybe.
We will take a maybe.
Because it's not a no.
It's just a nada right now.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into our patron shout outs.
We couldn't do what we do without the help of our gorgeous patrons. Here are the generous folks supporting Gamers Week on Patreon. B&T Zilla Guide, The Mad Milkman, Seven Castle Forest, Crunchy Kong, John Metroid, Frank Grande, Love Retro BTW, Steven Sand, Ramboski, Terry Canair, Don't Make Me Pull This Car Over, The Best Part of Waking Up is Games with Coffee, Hybrid Divide, You Fall Before Me, The Let's Play Princess, LaShorty, The Pixel Pawn Family, including Shannon and Luke, and the Skee Ball Daddy, Zach, aka Old Cluster Nuts, Puzzle Butter, Number One, Blue, Sick Voice Chan, John Barron, Sassy Sony, Evil Lust, Cyrum, Need a Little More Boing in Your Doing? I sure do. Then head to your nearest gas station for some angry Sasquatch brand mail enhancement bills. Mega Retroman, Gamatroid, Mora Deep, Michael, God damn it, that's not all, because if one of these things gets down here, then that will be all. And all this bullshit that you think is so important, you could just kiss all that goodbye, Lakite. Emo-esque, Bill Tucker, you know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps. Fruitcakes, I hate it when my Schwartz gets twisted, pickled pepper, ducks with thick thighs. Absolutely the best podcast, a work in progress. Bops and Dugnut, Blue's Little Sis, Parlor Daddy, and Retro Blast Pad.
Almost made it. Almost.
If you like what you hear today, and I really hope you do, please consider joining us on Patreon. Your support helps cover the cost of producing the show, as well as other cool stuff we'll be doing, like prizes and giveaways. You'll also gain access to our bi-weekly patron-only bonus cast called Gamers Week Uncut, Patrons with Benefits. Visit patreon.com/gamersweek or follow the link in the show notes to learn more. Also, our patron, Sheriff Snacks, aka Brandon, is currently undergoing a battle with cancer. We are including a link in the show notes to the GoFundMe for his medical expenses, so if you are able and willing to help out, any amount is appreciated. Snacks has been a supporter of Gamers Week from the very beginning, and he's also a close friend to all of us personally. We love him, so please consider helping and sharing.
Yes, please. Any help, even just messages and that kind of thing, if you are able. Feel free to give.
Yeah,
and it would mean a lot to us.
It would.
Share this. He's a great friend of the show, personal friend. And even if just 15,000 people donated $1, just one freaking dollar, this would take care of a lot of things. So please consider giving and giving as much as you can.
So if you have one freaking dollar.
$1. That's
Please
$1. That's all it takes. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the headlines for the week.
All right, this headline segment is proudly sponsored by absolutely the best podcast, A Work in Progress. Each episode, George and Zach discuss and rank all the best things. And right now, they're ranking every movie in the Alien vs. Predator connected universe. This week, they've got a trivia question for us. What is the name of the 1993 Capcom side-scrolling beat-em-up arcade game that was based on a comic book series called Xenozoic Tales? Visit them at absolutelythebest.net or follow the link in the show notes. Zoic. So I know cryptozoic is typically like an animal that's like an amalgamation of different things, kind of like a griffin is in, man, bear, pig. It would be cryptozoic.
I'm super cereal.
So I think zoic probably means life. Xeno, I don't know what that means, but I know xenomorphs. But I don't think it's aliens. So the only thing I could think about around that time that would make sense is Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, which is one of my favorite games of all time. It's funny because obviously you're beating up other people and then dinosaurs just show up. Randomly. Yeah, no, it's great. It's fantastic. Exactly. It's like, that prehistoric Turtlesaurus in Turtles in Time?
Yep.
It's like if that entire level was a beat 'em up and it had cars.
Okay.
So that is going to be my guess is Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
I mean, that was a long-winded guess. When I first saw the Xeno thing, I was like, Xenomorph, like you. I'm like a xenophobe, but that's not a beat 'em up. That's like a shoot 'em up. And I don't think Aliens was Capcom.
No.
I mean,
no.
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs sounds good to me, so I guess we'll go with that one.
The answer is Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Yes.
I'm glad to ride on the curtails of Ryan's success.
Right. Zach sent me the question and said, this should be easy for one of you.
What the does that mean, Zach?
He meant you, though.
I was just fighting for you.
Pretty sure you know what it means.
I'm going to get you, you son of a bitch. I don't know how. I'm gonna get you. All right, first up in this week's headlines, the USPTO has rejected Nintendo's controversial summon character and let it fight Pokemon patent after it was heavily criticized by IP lawyers last year. In November, the director of the United States Patent and Trademark Office ordered a re-examination of the patent after IP lawyers had criticized the U.S. patent system and the USPTO for awarding it. At the time, IP expert Florian Mueller took to social media to say Nintendo should never have received a summon character and let it fight patent in the first place, while video game patent lawyer Kirk Sigmon told PC Gamer these claims were in no way allowable. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are currently embroiled in ongoing litigation with Pocket Pair's Palworld in Japan. Holy shit, say that 3 times fast. And patents are at the heart of the lawsuit. This particular patent sums up how Pokemon games work in that you summon Pokemon to battle other Pokemon in the hope of adding them to your collection. But as was pointed out last year, there are countless other games that use similar mechanics, such as Persona, Digimon, and even Elden Ring, depending upon how the patent is interpreted. It's worth noting that this rejection is non-final, so there's a long way to go before Nintendo accepts the decision. It may appeal, for example, which would drag this out even longer. Since the lawsuit began, Pocket Pair has made changes to Palworld's disputed mechanics. A November 2024 patch, for example, removed the ability to summon pals by throwing Pokeball-like pal spheres. For now, all eyes... Excuse me. For now, all eyes will be on presiding judge Motoyuki Nakashima, who leads the patent division of the Tokyo District Court. Meanwhile, Pocket Pair has continued to update Palworld as it prepares for its 1.0 launch. At GDC this year, John Buckley, that's original, communications director and publishing manager for Palworld developer Pocket Pair, told IGN that Nintendo's patent infringement lawsuit against the studio came as a shock and was something that no one even considered. And holy words that begin with the letter P.
You did great, though. But you straight up had to patch out throwing Pokeballs at your characters. Like, the lawsuit was a shock, you guys. We never saw it coming.
By the way, John Buckley, that would be like me going, my name is Ryan Painful Pain.
Yeah, it's so original. Good Lord. I'm glad that this happened. I'm glad that the big bad corporations are getting the fingers wagged in their face and saying, no. This is a loss. You're just going to have to take the L. I'm dancing like this with the L and be about your merry way. And if they want to drag this thing out, go right ahead. You're just going to lose more money.
Well, this is a small piece of the puzzle, though, because it's just the U.S. Patent Office. It doesn't say anything about the rest of the world.
Or Japan, where I think they're actually trying to fight this big time.
Yeah, that's what it says. Presiding judge Motoyuki Nakashima, who leads the patent division of the Tokyo District Court.
You're right, so but the patent was only revoked in the U.S.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
But that does beg the question, if they can't back it up in the U.S., what effect would that have on the game for the rest of the world? Would they insist on doing it for the rest of the world, something that they can't enforce in the U.S.? How much weight does that carry? Nobody knows.
What it means is that everybody can make their own Pokemon in the U.S.
Because right now they don't give a shit about the U.S.
Well, and I will say this is that this is where this ends up, both in Japan, U.S., wherever, is going to have serious ramifications as far as patent law and what you can patent as far as genres are concerned. Because, I mean, if I remember right, too, like the most generic thing was, summon character and let it fight. So if they're going to keep that around, there are a lot of games that could either come under copyright infringement that Nintendo could sue for, or it means that in the future, we won't see games that are similar, like Final Fantasy or even like the revival of Digimon or something like that. Like it's scary. But I can see why Nintendo's doing it. Think about all of the money they could get from litigation if it wins. Mm-hmm. So for them, this isn't just about well, somebody stole our idea, so they're getting money off of our idea. It's we could make money off of this whole process and either play the gatekeeper or just sue and get more money back left and right. So I think that they will continue to fight it. They'll appeal it because it's within their best interest.
If they do this, I would love for Square to show up on the steps of the courthouse and say, can we have a second? Can we voice our opinion? Because we're the ones that did this first, you son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Square is too busy playing with AI to bother with
this. They're making foam stars too, guys.
But yeah, I think in a lot of ways, a lot of people would love to see Nintendo taken down a notch or two. They just are always such assholes about their IP.
And it's so funny that when they were the small guy, they had to face this stuff, and they ended up doing well as a result of it with the whole Donkey Kong and King Kong crap that they ran into before. And now that they are the big guys in town, they're like, you know what? I guess it's hazing time because apparently everybody else has got to go through what they went through. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
This is clearly a case of getting too big for your own britches.
And I mean, they've been doing that for 2 decades, more or less. Yeah. They've been assholes about it. Yeah.
And like, I think I said it when this lawsuit was first announced, but it's like, I can't believe Nintendo waited this long and let so many other Pokemon likes, like Digimon and whatever other Mons are out there. I think there's one more, but I don't remember.
Pokemon.
Let them just exist and just kind of did nothing about it until Pocket Pair came along with Palworld, and I guess was just a little bit too on the nose with their homage to Pokemon to where it finally offended or got Nintendo's attention.
Well, it could have been the other guys that did it. It was just so minuscule and very minor that they're like, you know what? That's not that big of a deal. You know what? Yeah, go ahead. We'll let this one slide. Holy crap. Look at this imposter right here. And right. Palworld just comes in and it's Pokemon with just a name, a different name.
Go Hobo Go says, I think it was because everyone said Pokemon with guns, and I think it forced their hand. We're kind of guilty of that.
You mean we contributed to this?
We did. So Palworld, Pocket Pair, our bad.
Because Digimon's been around since the 90s. Pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
So they had copycats right away.
Yeah.
And
it was the GoBots to Transformers back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's got a copy.
The weird kids like Digimon and the normal kids like Pokemon.
But Nintendo historically spares no expense when they think you've crossed them even a little bit. So it's still, to me, it's kind of, it's just so odd that they waited so long to try to patent these things, had them backdated so that they would count before Pocket Pair released. It kind of makes it seem like it was something that shouldn't have been patented. And that's why it didn't happen before now.
Right. And why the U.S. Patent Office is probably rejecting it as well.
After the fact, because we do everything right the first time here. Puzzle Better says, hey, somebody gave me a Digimon movie VHS for Valentine's Day once, and I thought it was very romantic. True story.
Aw. I didn't know they had Digimon on VHS. Now I got to buy some.
Uh-oh. You're opening a Pandora's box. Don't do that.
Yeah, if you're going to start collecting VHS in addition to everything else you got in
there. Too late.
He already does.
I got like 400 VHS.
Holy Lord. If the neighboring apartment ever vacates, just buy it and knock the wall down.
All right, next up, Sony has announced price increases for PS5, PS5 Pro, and PlayStation Portal, blaming continued pressures in the global economic landscape. The increases, which come into effect on April 2nd, 2026, are a necessary step to ensure we can continue delivering innovative, high-quality gaming experiences to players worldwide. Isabel Tomatis, VP of Global Marketing for Sony Interactive Entertainment, said in a post on the PlayStation blog. Sony last hiked the price of the PS5 in the US in August of last year when it confirmed $50 price rises for the PS5, PS5 Digital Edition, and PS5 Pro. PS5 Pro has gone up an eye-watering $150 in total to $900. When the standard PS5 launched back in November 2020, it cost $500. Now it costs $600. Early reaction to the price rises is a mix of anger and disappointment, but few are shocked at the news given the way things were going. There is also growing concern that gaming is becoming too expensive for many people. Speaking to Edge magazine, Circana analyst Matt Piscatella said gaming is trending towards becoming a hobby focused on high earners. A bigger portion of the market is going to people who are more affluent, have higher incomes, and the lower income parts of the market are really struggling, says Piscatella. I got to keep my mind straight. Okay, that premium gaming space is leaning more and more on the affluent consumer. And Sony is not alone in raising the price of consoles. Nintendo increased the price of the original Nintendo Switch in August last year, and there are fears it could be about to make the Switch 2 more expensive. Microsoft raised the prices of Xbox consoles, controllers, and headsets in May last year. Perhaps most notably, the PlayStation price rises kick in 8 months before the release of GTA 6, which is expected to drive significant sales of the current generation of consoles.
And as Ducks in Disguise says, this is all started by the push for RAM. Also, we can put a make everything shiny and wrinkly filter in DLSS. Cool.
Cool.
I will also say that with the rise of crude oil price, that's got to affect not only the logistics, the gas prices for shipping all of this stuff, but the other piece is what's plastic made out of? Petroleum.
Plastic? What?
Plastic's just made out of plastic, right?
Yeah.
It's always existed. Oh, man, my kids have been working at the plastic mine.
The children yearn for the mines.
But yes, plastic is made out of petroleum, so that automatically makes it more expensive. Pop, I got the plastic lung.
So this is blowing my mind that I don't think we've ever seen this before, where a console has come out, has had a price, and then have raised it. We are 6 years into the PS5. I don't know if they are working currently on a PS6. You would think that they probably have something at the start of development, but everything that we've ever seen within this time frame of a console being out, it's dropped significantly because they want to get more people to be able to afford their product. And they're doing the exact opposite. When the Switch raised for the original Switch, you raised your prices on that and you already have a newer are you crazy?
And to that end, we're so used to, again, things becoming cheaper, them like making smaller consoles, right? The slim version of consoles to try to attract people to the existing library and everything moving forward. So you're right. It is completely uncharted territory for us as consumers.
And it's kind of bonkers because logic would say your product is 6 years old. You're prepping for the next generation. So you want to squeeze every ounce of life and money you can out of this current machine, and you're raising the prices sometimes more than once within a year. Right. Even if you're losing money on every unit, which historically consoles have been sold at a loss. They always have been because you make your money back with the software. So even if you're losing money, more money than you would have 2 years ago with the consoles, is it a good idea to continue to raise these prices?
And at this point, with Xbox and Steam coming out with their PC consoles that we're looking at, is there still a huge market of people who haven't bought a PS5 that are planning on buying a PS5 now? I don't know. Yeah.
I've heard that some people are running out to buy the PS5 Pro
before
the price increase.
Which makes sense. Don't get me wrong on that, but I just don't know if there's like a huge marketplace for somebody who wants to pay an extra $100 from the launch price. That wants PS5 that bad. There are other options out there.
Right.
And probably ones that are better suited for your gaming experience.
Before I get to Simon Ashtier's question, I want to read what Frankie said, and I want to do it in Jeff Goldblum's voice. Dinosaur fossils create petroleum. Petroleum makes plastics. Plastics make toy dinosaurs. Circle of life.
There it is.
So Simon asks, why should I choose the PS5 over the others? What can it do that the others can't? Exclusives? We've seen that exclusives really, nobody, I'm going to say, okay, let me backtrack. I'm not going to say nobody really cares for exclusive because people still do. But I think people are also shown that they're willing to wait on these exclusives. Like Indiana Jones, still haven't played it.
Yeah.
I want to. But it's not something that, it's not like it was back in the 90s when I could rush out or would rush out and buy a Sega Genesis or a Super Nintendo just to play an exclusive on that console.
Right.
Go Hobo Go says, I don't have a PS5 and my wife offered for us to go get one before the increase. I told her I would rather we get a Steam Deck. We would get better use out of that. And that's kind of the thing, is that everything is going up. So in effect, they're all still equal, and your same preferences based on whatever they were before still apply. Sony was kind of the last holdout before, well, I guess they did already increase, but now they're increasing a second time. So maybe it's Nintendo's the real holdout. I don't know. It's all f***ed. That's the takeaway here. It's all f***ed.
It's all f***ed.
It's all f***ed. But I think at this point, between the Xbox and Sony, PlayStations are still the cheaper option. But this is the first time we've ever seen consoles are fucking expensive. PCs are fucking expensive. What is the cheap gaming option anymore, aside from like what Simon says, your backlog?
Pretty much that, and building a low-end gaming PC with like probably a decades-old graphics card and just playing stuff on Steam that doesn't take a lot of processing power.
Or you could just break into a friend's house and steal their graphics card.
Or that too. You know, just say that you're borrowing it. And as long as you leave an IOU note, you're fine. You're covered. My son does a lot of games on his phone. Free games, mind you. Nothing that he has to pay for. A lot of free games. So do they really want to run the risk of going up against kids who can go out and get free games and not spend a single solitary cent and be completely entertained?
I don't think they're even thinking about that. A free mobile phone game versus what Sony has to offer in games like The Last of Us and God of War. They're not even close to the same.
No, they're not close to the same. But if kids can't afford it, if the parents can't afford it.
Exactly. Which goes back to my original point is, in the long term, is this extra $100 per console the best choice? If it causes somebody to not buy your console, to not buy into your ecosystem, to not buy your games, I don't know how much they're losing per unit. It must be astronomical.
It's got to be, because this would be the perfect time for them to go, hey, you know what? Prices are going up on everything else, but they're not going up on the PS5. In fact, we're dropping it $50, you know?
Right, exactly.
All of a sudden, you would have huge amount of demand, hand over fist to get one, right? And there may be people out there that have a PS5 digital that want to get the other one, right?
Yeah. Give us the classic 90s moment where you walk out on stage, you just look into the microphone and you say $2.99 or $1.99 and walk away. Give us something. Give us something back for all the money that we've given to you, the money, the dedication, the heart, blood, sweat, and tears that we've done for decades. And your idea is to raise prices on us? I don't know, Jan.
It's almost a $199 for a controller now, says Go Hobo Go. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Like I said, everything's f***ed.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered Nintendo. We've covered Sony. The only one left, Xbox.
Team Green.
Microsoft has confirmed that its new Xbox boss scrapped the controversial "This is an Xbox" ad campaign as part of the brand reset. Microsoft's "This is an Xbox" campaign, reportedly the brainchild of former Xbox president Sarah Bond, launched back in 2024, effectively decoupling the Xbox brand from its traditional console home and repositioning it as a device-agnostic platform accessible on everything from mobile to laptops. The campaign, which appeared to actively discourage customers from purchasing Xbox hardware, immediately proved controversial, both among the Xbox fan base and internally, where it apparently offended many Xbox employees. I'm going to send a note to HR. Following Bond's departure from Microsoft earlier this year, a move coinciding with former Xbox boss Phil Spencer's retirement, drink. It wasn't long before This Is an Xbox campaign page quietly disappeared. And now, speaking to Windows Central, a Microsoft spokesperson has confirmed its new CEO of Microsoft Gaming, Asha Sharma, was behind the move to retire it. She is personally leading a reset of how we show up as a brand. When Sharma, previously the president of Microsoft's core AI team, was announced as Spencer's replacement back in February, one of her first pledges was to celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with the console, which was shaped who we are. She also promised not to chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. Fooled you.
No, it's how you define soulless AI slop. But I think this is such a smart move. And from somebody who probably knows all about Xbox, but I remember when I first saw that campaign, just saying, oh, this is an Xbox and this is an Xbox and this is an Xbox. And you're like, Microsoft has fucking lost it. If everything is an Xbox, then nothing is an Xbox. And I can completely see where if you worked for Xbox and you saw this going through, you're like, well, what are we even doing here? What's the point of this?
What does this even mean?
Right.
And if you look at like marketing strategy, right, the biggest cardinal sin that you can make is to commoditize your product. And when it doesn't have a leg up on your competition, right? It doesn't differentiate itself from your competition, and you dilute that brand by saying everything's an Xbox. That's like marketing 101. They teach that with like the first lesson is never fucking do that. So
chapter 1, never fucking do that.
Right. It was ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous to do that to your brand. This was not the way to differentiate yourself. So good job to Asha Sharma, but I still don't believe a fucking word she says when she says that we're not going to do AI slop. I'm sorry. She's going to walk that back. I guarantee it.
But no. Whatever they serve us is not going to be AI slop. It's going to be quality AI. And if you've taken a consumer base that is floundering and has lost their leaders and their faith in the brand, what better way to come in and say, I know everybody doesn't think I can do this, but let's do a complete, like, wipe the slate clean and go back to our roots. And I think from her perspective, this was a super smart thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not putting any additional faith, though, in her. Good choice, I think.
No, we'll just have to see it.
She made one smart move, and it remains to be seen what she does with it.
Sarah Bond, on the other hand, what do you think other companies are looking at whenever like she goes to like put in a job application or get interview for this position? They're like, we saw what you did with Microsoft for the Xbox. Care to explain that? What was your idea behind that?
Listen, I was on peyote for a couple months.
Look, I think she probably took her $60 million payout and says applying for other jobs.
She's not working. Yeah.
Yeah. She can be a VC firm where she gives money and then keeps billions of it. So
it almost felt like the last couple of years, Xbox got really to the edge of desperation, where they were like, we are losing the console wars. What can we do to get sales at any cost? And it kind of seems like this was the product of that. Who knows what pressure Sarah Bond was under, especially if the rumors where Microsoft requires a 30% accountability margin, not a profit margin, but accountability margin from everything at Xbox. The pressure to meet that must be incredible. So who knows? She might be like, well, let's just get sales of our games literally anywhere we can.
And the interesting part for me is that clearly, if it pissed off people, though, behind the scenes, this was done in a bubble. So
as is everything corporate.
That's probably true. But, I just imagine like rolling into work in the morning. They're going to have like a big town hall meeting, right? And they're unveiling This Is an Xbox campaign to you. And you work on like the console team that builds this shit. or develops for this shit, right?
Well, it's true.
Yep. Like, all right, well, time to update my resume, I guess.
Yeah, your washing machine is an Xbox.
Right.
Is your PlayStation 5 an Xbox? Is your Switch an Xbox?
If you could get hacking it, you might be able to pull it out.
Void the warranty, but yeah, it can be an Xbox.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ducks in Disguise said they should go get back to the 360 launch mentality, cheaper than the competition, solid exclusives, utilize their cloud stuff to do cool multiplayer experiences. Yeah, it's they've been chasing first place since the Xbox 360 because that's the last time they had it.
Yeah.
And I think that has driven some really poor decisions.
Well, and part of that dominance was driven by PlayStation simultaneously dropping the ball.
That is true. PS3 was not the best.
Mm-hmm.
It was not okay. So it wasn't a great launch. There weren't a lot of titles available during the launch,
and it was expensive.
It was expensive, but it was free to go online with the PlayStation 3, and I think that's where Xbox 360. You can say they either fumbled it or they were ingenious because after the PS3. Then Sony started saying, well, let's go ahead and start charging you for online access, which is a complete load of bullshit.
Yeah, but this goes back to our last topic. You get them to buy in with the cheap console, like people did with the 360. Yeah. And once they're bought in, then they're like, okay, now I'm here. I guess I better pay for online. Whereas the PlayStation just scared them away at the door. It didn't matter that the online was free. That console bombed.
No, I still love the PS3.
And it's not.
I love it too. Right, I'm just saying, sales wise, that console bombed.
Yeah. I don't know how.
And I mean, actually, Go Hobo Go brings up a good point, like the PS3 hack ability so that you could put your own OS on it was great. And then they patched that and
removed it. So you advertise, you get people in the door, like you said, to buy in on that specific feature. And it's like, oh, wait a second. Nope, we're just going to take that away because people could do malicious things with it. We weren't really thinking. We didn't know like the whole hive mind of what a human can do with this thing. We're just going to go ahead and take that away.
Well, it's like U.S. Air Force was using it as a supercomputer.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was the best thing that ever happened with the PlayStation 3.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't like you knocking on the PlayStation 3 that much. You know that I love it.
She's an apologist for the PlayStation 3, I think, but she's also a realist.
The most successful tweet I ever had on Twitter in like 11 years was me saying, I love the PlayStation 3. There, I said it. Thousands of likes.
Poking me in the side with a fucking knife every time you say
you're
something.
Sensitive. You're a sensitive boy.
I am sensitive.
Suck is never coming back.
Oh, why would you say that?
Because you scream like that and it's hot.
And last up this evening, a new Star Fox game and a Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake are among numerous unannounced Nintendo games reportedly headed to Switch 2 this year. That's according to noted internet tipster Nate the Hate, who accurately leaked the Switch 2's reveal date last year alongside other details of the console, and whose information today has been backed up by VGC sources. Perhaps surprisingly, 2026 will reportedly not be the year we see a major new 3D Mario game, though Nintendo's long-awaited follow-up to Super Mario Odyssey will apparently be ready for 2027. Speaking via his podcast, Nate the Hate said that Nintendo's new Star Fox game would be announced in April and had been intended as a surprise reveal following the character's just confirmed appearance in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, where incredibly he will be voiced by Glenn Powell. The game will apparently launch later in 2026 and include online multiplayer. It's claimed that Nintendo isn't planning to hold a general Nintendo Direct broadcast now for another 3 months, when it is expected to broadcast its usual Reveal Fest held each June. That said, this summer is then expected to feature a flurry of previously announced Switch 2 games finally making their debut. Splatoon Adventure spin-off Splatoon Raiders, Rhythm Heaven Groove, and Fire Emblem Fortune Weave. The end of the year currently looks set to include From Software's Switch 2 exclusive The Duskbloods, and then Nintendo's own The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake, though details of this remain unclear. This year marks Zelda's 40th anniversary. though Nintendo let the franchise's actual birthday pass last month with no fanfare. How could you?
I know. Yeah,
Nintendo does that every year. It's that one meme where Zelda's over here. It's the guy and the two girls, and Zelda's the one that's like, what? And then it's Mario is the one in the middle that everybody's looking at.
Or the kid drowning, but yet the skeleton at the bottom of the pool. That's
Yep, exactly.
I could understand letting a 37th anniversary or 22nd anniversary pass with fanfare, but 40 years is a freaking milestone. You have to do something to celebrate a beloved IP, a storied franchise that has kept your company, I wouldn't say afloat, but it's done wonders for your company for 40 years.
Simon says the skeleton at the bottom of the pool is Mike Jones from Star Tropics.
Oh, Star Tropics.
So, yeah, we got Star Fox announced for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, voiced by Glenn Powell. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But how do we think the Star Fox is going to look?
I hope it's not an on-the-rail shooter. On-the-rail shooters, Star Fox, the original one, and for the most part, Star Fox 64. They were great games, don't get me wrong, but I think you could really explore. They had Star Fox Adventures, which did some of that, but as I understand, it was kind of meh as far as the experience. So I would like to see like a No Man's Sky sized Star Fox experience.
Good Lord. How about just like a Breath of the Wild sized Star Fox experience?
Fine. I just think there's so much that you can do with space. Let's be honest. It's limitless. So let's let them have a little bit of fun with it. And yeah, like go on raids and stuff and blow up monkeys as one does.
As one does.
But we really haven't seen a mainline Star Fox game similar to, we were like clamoring for Metroid for so long. And then they came out with, a bunch of Metroid
Dread.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So maybe I'm not terribly opposed for them to do it in old school style. Love to recapture it. Can we avoid a Slippy Toad voice though?
No.
Can you give us?
Oh, do you want me to do a Slippy Toad voice for you?
If you don't mind.
Sure. Fox, help me!
It's the Resident Evil Ashley of the Star Fox world.
Ah, okay.
Same vibes.
Like, he's always in trouble. Fox, I got someone on my 6. All the time. He's always in trouble, right? Falco's fine, right? Falco's fine. Rabbit or hare, Peppy hair, he's fine. Peppy tells you to do a barrel roll. He's awesome. He's got like this southern accent.
Barrel roll,
man. Have yourself a little dip as well.
Fox, I got someone on my 6. Well, fucking deal with it, Slippy.
Yeah. Can't you see I'm busy?
Right.
Go Hobogo says, I got a Slippy Toad once in Tijuana. Surprised you even remember that.
If you could, I don't know, give him the voice of Kratos, maybe I would find it less annoying.
Fox, I got someone on my 6.
Right.
It sounds like you've got it handled.
Right. Yeah.
Why are you telling me?
You should just get out and punch the guy.
I will say that I've seen some, I don't know if this is AI renditions, but like super HD 8K remakes of Super Mario World or The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. I've seen some videos of those with like some super hyped up graphics, and I would probably pay a new price of that game, which whenever it came out, how much ever it was, like $64.99, $59.99, I would probably pay that much for a super HD remake of that game.
Yeah.
The DLSS 5 remake of it.
Pretty much, yes. If they want to do that, and if they want to do that with Ocarina of Time, I might get into it.
Simon S. Shearson says, and then they make the DLSS 5 filter make Yoshi look super sexy. It's like Squidward. You remember? Where,
yes, handsome Squidward.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into our top 3 new releases for the week.
All right, first up is Darwin's Paradox, out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, and PC. Dive into the adventure with Darwin, an octopus as endearing as he is ingenious, torn from the ocean and trapped in a vast and mysterious industrial complex. Harness his unique talents and abilities to help him overcome the many dangers and traps in this captivating platformer adventure game. Next up is Grime 2, out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Become the stealer of forms in Grime 2, a surreal action-adventure Metroidvania. Launch tendrils made of hands to absorb foes and summon molds in their shape as you explore a bizarre, lived-in world obsessed with art. And finally, Super Meat Boy 3D, out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, and PC. The infamous Tough as Nails platformer, now in 3D.
I like this description. I just
what
want
else do you need to know?
Right.
So out of these three, what are you in for, Ryan?
So Super Meat Boy, Zach in our Discord was saying, I never played the original Super Meat Boy. Maybe I'll give this one a try. And I said to him, have you ever smashed your scrotum into a car door before?
What?
Because you might want to try that first, because it's slightly less painful than playing Super Meat Boy.
I've never tried that.
So yeah, Super Meat Boy 3D. I am not subjecting myself to this torture. I've also heard, I think Tekken85 said in the Discord that it's getting meh reviews because there's something lost in translation between 2D and 3D, like the entire 64. So I get that. I totally get that. So yeah, Super Meat Boy off the list. Grime 2, Metroidvania. I mean, yes, I played a little bit of Hollow Knight and I didn't hate it. Yet.
He's changing.
You will hate it soon.
So that doesn't mean that I have turned over a new leaf and that I'm not a Metroidvania fan yet. Also, launching tendrils made of hands. That sounds like a Mad Libs.
I've seen a hentai like that.
But that brings in Darwin's Paradox. I'm kind of curious about this game. When they did the launch trailer for this, it seemed like it was a joke at first, right? I was like, what the fuck is this? And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, this is actually a game. Like I thought it was like an add-on to another one. But it looks fun. It reminds me of that cat game a little bit as well. You know, the one where like you roam around as that Stray, right? It reminds me a little bit of Stray. But nothing that is immediately saying I have to buy this. I think what I'll end up doing is probably watching a few streams and seeing if it's worth it. Okay. But out of all these three, I mean, it's like a half. I'm curious about Darwin's Paradox. The other two I know I won't enjoy. So there you have it. Not buying any. Just I'm Darwin curious.
Darwin. All right. What about you, Donnie?
Honestly, I think that this week could be any one of these games. I have never played Super Meat Boy. I have seen so many people play Battle Kid. To me, I guess those two games are similar.
Ryan's having a PTSD.
I would probably put my fist through so many objects if I played Battle Kid and
I volunteer as tribute.
Well, sorry. There you go. I would love to give Super Meat Boy 3D a shot because I am competitive. I do, right. When something seems impossible, I do want to practice it to see if I can do it. Grime 2 looks stellar, looks amazing, but it's another Metroidvania. I'm not saying that I won't do it because it looks downright fantastic, but I just want to see what the story is. I don't know. I'm not completely sold on it, but it does look amazing. Darwin's Paradox, when I saw this at, I don't remember if it was Summer Games Fest or if it was the whatever awards, whatever it was, but it was one of those festivals where we saw this thing and I was like, I was sold. The graphics, plus you're a freaking octopus. You're on an octopus adventure, and you've got the Metal Gear Solid thing where he's in a box and he's moving around, and you've got the Metal Gear Call thing, and
that was cool.
Yeah, hands down, I think I'm going to pick this up. Its release date is tomorrow. It's only $25.
Oh, nice!
It's a tactical octopus action stealth. I think I'm sold. I would love to play this game. I would love to stream this game. I think I'm going to be picking that up this weekend. And it's a Konami classic, so there you go.
Are you sure it's $25, or are you lying to us again?
I've never lied about anything in my entire life.
Somehow I feel like we're going to get receipts.
It's the CVS printer going ching, 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 ching.
Son of a...
I called you Dottie G Liar last podcast.
Well, you got Liar Game Bruce, you got Liar's View, and then Liar G Retro. There we go.
What lies did I tell?
Oh, come on now.
Waiting.
I'll have to go back through the Rolodex to
The problem is you and I don't have a good enough memory. That's the problem. She has lied. She has definitely
lied.
That
sounds like a you problem.
Right.
She's got a steel trap.
Right. And you and I are Swiss cheese. Yeah, Blue, what about you?
So,
what about you?
Thank you. Super Meat Boy 3D. The Super Meat Boy 2D games are infamous, beloved, and hated all at the same time. 3D platformers stress the out of me. Mm-hmm. I was raised on the NES and the Super Nintendo, and 3D platforming just does not come naturally to me. It's not encoded in my brain. I'm not saying I wouldn't play it, but like I would have to be going through a period of like extra super intense self-hate before I would pick up Super Meat Boy 3D. Grime 2, I think the reviews on Steam were mostly positive so far. Many weeks, this would be my choice, but I am going for Darwin's Paradox. A, because the octopus is adorable. B, this game reminds me visually a lot of like Limbo and Inside. It's got that kind of, it looks 3D, but it's really 2D most of the time, the gameplay. That game looks super fun, super creative, and I can't wait to play it, especially knowing it's only $25.
Octopus or octopi can they can basically fit into a crack or a hole like that size. So the best place to get to put him
is
what other holes do you have that size?
Where, Donnie? Please enlighten us.
And it'd have to be with him just just to make it to where the eyes are looking at it, just like
the tentacles are like
going there.
Grouping and spreading.
It'll be on the cover of a newly released VHS in your store. Nice, Simon Asher.
This show has gone completely off the rails.
Oh, completely, 100%. Like we're just having fun at this point.
Yeah.
All right, before we move on, let's take a quick break to talk about our sponsor. This segment is proudly sponsored by the Retro Game Club podcast. It's a fantastic family-friendly retro gaming podcast. In each episode, Rob and a guest pick 2 games to play and discuss, as well as news, interviews, and other topics. Right now, they want to know, the Game Boy Advance is 25 years old. What are your favorite memories about this handheld? Visit them at retrogameclub.net or follow the link in the show notes. I will say lifeguarding at the beach with my brother, we would play Advance Wars 2, right? Mm-hmm. And I would play my turn, and then I would wait, and he would go, or I would go into like the lifeguard tower, and then I'd come back, and he would have played his turn, so we kind of like went back and forth. We also did that in like the living room. We played a lot of Advance Wars 2. Jim always kicked my ass, so there's that.
GG's, Jim.
Right. But we had a red clamshell Game Boy Advance. Love that thing.
The Game Boy Advance or the Game Boy Advance SP?
I think it was probably an SP.
Because if you say clamshell, that's the SP.
Right.
The original.
Actually.
I'm gonna allow it. He can actually me on that. I'm fine with that.
It's the truth. I mean,
he makes me better.
Does he?
Man. It tugs at my heartstrings. I love it.
Just a tug into the nuts.
It's like one of those doorbell. Boom. Oh.
This is so getting cut out from the fact that we're doing an ad right now, by the way. I'm sorry, Blue.
Thank you.
Donnie, do you have any memories of Game Boy?
I got a Game Boy Advance SP for my birthday in 2005, I think. 2004, 2005, and I sold it less than 6 months later.
Very meaningful gift.
Yeah, I have a history with that.
I've heard about this. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
I've heard.
I wasn't really into handhelds. If I'm playing a video game, I'd like to be able to play it on a bigger screen that I can see it and not have to be hunched over and kind of look at things like this. I've just never been on par with that. Now, these systems have great graphics and better lighting than what the original Game Boy Color and Game Boy did. So my hat's off to that, but just never was a big fan of it. Even though I've got a mini museum sitting over here with the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Advance SP, the original Game Boy. I just don't really play them all that often.
Fair enough. I actually did not own a Game Boy Advance until I was an adult.
Really?
Yes, but I do remember this was probably, 15 years ago or something. I was at work. I was doing billing at the time for a local medical office. I'm upstairs in my office. I'm doing my thing. And they call me downstairs and like, you need to come downstairs and talk to this patient. And I'm thinking, okay, so, somebody's pissed about their bill or something like that. I go downstairs and they lead me over to this kid, like this 9-year-old kid who's playing on a Game Boy Advance. And they said, you need to talk to this kid. I'm like, okay, what about? And they said, well, he's playing a video game. You like video games, don't you? I mean, yeah, but I not like, I haven't played that. And they're like, well, just talk to him. And so I go over to this kid. I'm like, hey. He's like, hi. What you playing? He says, oh, I'm playing Pokemon, blah, 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 whatever's on the Advance. And I'm like,
Fire
that's
up.
cool. Having fun? Yeah. Good talk.
Did you catch them all?
Are you winning,
Missed
son?
opportunity.
Right,
Yeah.
you're winning, son.
Hey, go talk to him. Why? Because he's got a video game thing. Okay, what are you trying to get? What was the end result? What were they trying to get out of it, though?
I was just supposed to schmooze the kid and make him love us, I guess, while the dad was standing by. And instead I was just...
Was he a patient?
Yeah, the kid was a patient.
Okay, so they were trying to get you to connect with him, so to make him
Right.
feel a little bit more. Okay, all right. Now
Right.
I get it.
And you failed miserably.
Miserably. It's like, don't bring me down here to talk to people. I don't know what I'm doing.
This is not in my job description.
Like, I don't even talk to you people around here.
Right. You don't come into my office for a reason.
All right, welcome, students. Please take your seats. Welcome back to Professor Rybrad's Gaming History 101. And today, we're going to be talking about the moon. Because, Donnie, what happened today?
What happened today?
Yes. Has to do with the moon.
Well, I went into work and I went into the bathroom,
Right.
and I don't think that has anything to do with the moon, though.
You laid a block of cheese.
But we went to the moon. We set off on a rocket to loop around. We basically, all right, kids, we're going for a drive.
Right.
All right, let's go back home.
It's the Griswold family vacation. National Lampoon's Lunar Vacation.
Rust your feet.
Yeah. Did you like that in the can?
No, I have it right here.
All right. So we launched the Artemis 2 mission, which is the first manned space mission to the moon in like 50 years.
If you believe that we went to the moon originally.
I'm not going there.
I'm just saying.
Going there. After stream, you and I can talk about the tenets of the moon launch, but I think I'll spare everyone because I think Blue will have a heart attack and roll her eyes in the back of her head permanently.
I feel like that would bother you. You don't care about my well-being.
You're right. Not at all. But yeah, we're doing obviously the Artemis 2 launch came off. So it made me think about, okay, one of the games that we had recently talked about, of course, was Moon Patrol, right? Mm-hmm. If we look at Moon Patrol, one of the things is I will say the game looks pretty simple. If you're just walking into an arcade and you see it, you drive left to right, you jump craters, you shoot stuff. You try not to explode, which is always a good thing on the moon. But it was pretty standard arcade stuff. But the thing is, when you start to look and peel back the layers of it, there's a lot of interesting features to this game. So if we talk about 1982, right, everything before that, if you look at like Donkey Kong, Space Invaders, Defender, all of those games, it was one static screen. Everything existed within that screen itself. There wasn't an immersive experience. You didn't really feel like you were in a world. It was just like, here's a stage, more or less. And this is what you play on. Where Moon Patrol is where we started to integrate more of an immersive feel. And we'll kind of get into what that looks like here in a little bit. It, of course, was a game that was developed by Irem. It was actually designed by Takahashi Nishiyama, who you probably, if you're familiar with your history, would go on to create Street Fighter.
Oh.
Yep. Guy clearly had ambition and pedigree, right? But when they started making this game, it wasn't developed in the same way of what most games think of. Most of the games you think about, all right, what kind of games should we make? What should the story be? What should the characters look like? That's usually how you would start to develop for a game. But what they did at Irem is they had this new technology that they wanted to bring into a game, which was called parallax scrolling, right? Mm-hmm. So the idea is that it wasn't just a static viewpoint like a stage, right? There were different layers that scrolled in. And in fact, what we see here is that there were 3 different layers for Moon Patrol, right? It was the ground, which is where you would typically play, right? There was the mountains behind, and then like the sky. Sky never moves. Mountains move slowly. Foreground moves much faster. And what that did is it provided a viewpoint of what felt like you were a part of a bigger universe, right? Because that's how your perspective would be if you were driving on the moon. The mountains would move slower in the background. Obviously, the sky wouldn't move at all. So your brain kind of takes a look at that and goes, okay, now this is depth. This is more to this than just one screen. All of a sudden, I'm immersed in this world. And what they said is, okay, we got this technology. We want to put this into a game. Let's make it simple but fun. And that's where Moon Patrol kind of coalesce, if you will.
I'm immersed. I live here now.
Right. They basically said, we can create the illusion of depth, but what kind of game would show that off the best? And what they found essentially was that if you had a vehicle moving across the landscape, that would really show it much better than if you had, a small person who was doing platforming or something else where it just wasn't giving you the fact that you need to continue on this path, if you will. Where you're on the moon seems endless. It's a big ball, right? So you can keep going if you wanted to. So the reason that they chose to go with space as well is that this was the height of space exploration and sentiment across the globe. The space shuttle was now in use, right? Satellites were starting to become of it. So there was like this big push for space stuff that unfortunately ended probably in the mid 80s for
no
reasons I won't discuss. Yep.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Yeah. But the game itself is like I said, fairly simple, right? You're a lunar buggy, you patrol quote unquote Sector 9, and the game immediately starts laying challenges on top of you. It's not just driving, you're managing timing, spacing, and attention. So there are craters that you have to jump, and you quickly learn you can't shoot certain things, right? No matter how much you want to, right? There's mines, there's rocks rolling towards you on the ground. There's also UFOs above that will fire down upon you. So it's this whole it's a quarter muncher. Let's be honest. It's an arcade game from the 80s, so it's a quarter muncher. They're going to throw as much challenge at you and have no learning curve. But what's interesting about the game, too, is that you can shoot forward and upward at the same time. That was a new mechanic. When you look at it, now that you have an opportunity to shoot 2 things at once, your attention needs to be much more focused, right? It was also about timing. You want to make sure that your jumps are timed perfectly. So it became like jumping, shooting, dodging all at once is what I think made this game fun and as popular as it ended up being.
The jumping was the most difficult part for me, where it's like you could do a short jump or a long jump, and the spacing between the potholes or the mines that you had to traverse.
Sure. And with that, I think it was a game where maybe the controls could have been a little bit tighter.
You're asking a lot from 1982.
Yeah. It's true, because I mean, if you think about it too, like Donkey Kong, there are plenty of times where I've hit that jump button and it doesn't quite hit. And you're like, what the, had plenty of those. But I think one of the cool underrated features too of the game is that it had that map on the top screen, right? It shows, kind of what's coming. So you get to see the creator's obstacles and checkpoints. So if you see it ahead of time, that means that you're much more likely to be successful. It's not just about reflexes. It's about planning, which wasn't necessarily a function of many games in the past, because a lot of it was just RNG based, right? Pac-Man, RNG. I mean, you can kind of dictate where the ghosts go, but still there's a certain element of randomness, where this one you can actually plan ahead.
Dude, I forgot all about the map.
Yep. What's interesting about this too, you can see parts of other games in this. So Scramble, there's that terrain-based challenges, right? Defender, it's the kind of the scrolling movement. But what's also interesting is that Moon Patrol was one of the first games, not the first, but one of the first games to allow continues. And when I say continues, I don't mean extra lives for putting a quarter in, but continuing from your progress. So if you hit a checkpoint, you can continue from there. That was not really something that games allowed back in the day, be it memory issues or whatever it was, or the simple fact that they just wanted to keep sucking your quarters. I don't know. But yeah,
better than your toes.
You can do both at the same time.
Oh, God.
So 1982 hits. It's a huge success. I mean, it wasn't the loudest, flashiest hit in the era, but definitely a strong one, right? People remember this one. It charted well. It got really great reviews. It got noticed by a lot of other developers as well. So this whole parallax scrolling thing, now it became ubiquitous in gaming. It's something that we saw all throughout the NES. We saw it through all of the consoles after that as well, and including, several different arcades as well. But what's interesting about this is that Moon Patrol got ports to like everything, right?
Yeah.
Atari 2600, Commodore 64, Apple II, IBM PC. The ZX Spectrum was planned. They had one, just never released. So it was almost like if it was a console and it could play games, it got one as far as Moon Patrol, which I think speaks to the fun factor of the game. When you put it on the Atari 2600, though, I think it loses some of that, unfortunately. But hey, if you ever played Donkey Kong on the Atari 2600, you know what to expect. So if we go behind the scenes, though, there are some oddities, right? So like bootleg versions occurred. So Moon Ranger showed up almost immediately. So it was knockoffs. It's the Congo Bongo to Donkey Kong, if you will. Yeah. Like I said, that there was a kind of a finished version from the ZX Spectrum that was never released. God, I hope somebody out there has a prototype for that. That would be cool to see. So what was also interesting about it is that there were a lot of prototypes for other consoles and things that were made, but with placeholder graphics that have been discovered, where people were putting in like adult themed graphics in there.
No, what do you mean?
Oh, so you like a UFO that looks like a dick.
Well, I can't shoot anymore. I don't know what's going on.
No.
You need a half hour.
But, all of that, it kind of brought together. Moon Patrol, I think itself was pretty revolutionary, right? It encapsulated the zeitgeist at the time when it came to arcades mixed with space. I mean, obviously space was a huge piece to early arcade gaming anyway, but this obviously was something where we were taking the technology and reverse engineering it to make it a fun game, which is not, I will say, I've seen a lot of tech demos in my time, and some of them are interesting. Most of them are not fun. I don't know of anybody who's playing ARMS still for their Nintendo Switch.
I mean, they really tried to make that a thing. You never know.
They really did.
They really tried.
If Space Invaders taught you how to shoot, and Donkey Kong taught you how to jump, Moon Patrol, I think, taught you how to explore a world that probably up until that point was not an experience. So we obviously were a little spoiled by what we experience now, but back then that was truly revolutionary.
Agreed.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of today's conversation. If you do have any suggestions for Gamers Week Gaming History 101, feel free to email us at gamersweekpodcast@gmail.com. We might feature your suggestion.
All right. Thank you, Professor. Let's go ahead and wrap up this episode. Thank you for listening to episode 206 of Gamers Week Podcast. And a big thank you to the Retro Game Club Podcast, Love Retro BTW, Pixel Pond Production Company, and absolutely the best podcast, A Work in Progress, for sponsoring this episode. Don't forget to check out their links in the show notes. If you want to connect with Gamers Week, follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at Gamers Week PC. Watch us right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Gamers Week Podcast, where we will record live every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Email us at gamersweekpodcast@gmail.com. Visit our merch store at gamers-week-podcast.creator-spring.com. Or if you want to do it the easy way, follow the link in the show notes. And last but not least, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/gamersweek. And finally, since you made it all the way to the end of this episode, please leave us a rating and a review to let us know how we did. We really do value your feedback. And while you're there, consider subscribing on iTunes, Spotify, or your podcast platform of choice. Thank you, everybody, for joining in and spending your Wednesday night with us again. We greatly appreciate that. And also, anybody that can, please consider donating to our friend Brandon, Sheriff Snacks, GoFundMe for his cancer treatment. Blue will be posting all of that information on the release of the episode. If you're a member of the Discord, that information has been posted. Please, if you can, give as much as you can. I know he would be greatly appreciative, and so would his family and friends.
He's an important guy to us. So.
Absolutely.
Take care. Good night. Peace. We'll see you later.
Have a good one, guys.
Good night.
You don't like Polygon?
Yeah, just how slow the game was, and like, oh my god, this is mind-blowing 3D graphics, but it's a square, a triangle, just popped on sides of each other. There you go, and I'm supposed to be. Oh,
what was it like? See, that's I can only do it with a.
Waiting for you guys to do the theme song to the show.
What theme song? Theme song
to the podcast. Our theme song. I'm applaud that effort. That was a lot of effort. It was but it was a lot of effort.
Hey, you know, that's stuff you keep to yourself.
Oh. Okay. I completely spaced. I was like, we have a theme song?
I've never heard this. Yeah. 206 episodes. What is this theme song?
Right. This is great.
Go goes. This is the shit that gets cut out.
Welcome to Gamers Week Uncut.
Welcome to Gamers Week Uncut.
Welcome to Gamers Week Uncut, patrons with benefits. This is the unscripted, patron-only bonus cast with less editing and more dirty jokes. We don't know where the conversation will go, but we're sure it will be weird.
This fish just went right on my nipple, and I'm just like,
I Google Street Fighter 6. The first search result that comes up is people think they can see Ryu's dick in the Street Fighter 6 reveal.
Listen up here, kids. You're not going to want to get one of those VDSTDs things, right? Make your fall off. When you go, grab a pro. You'll be doing it for America.
That was perfect.
If you want to hear weekly episodes of our patron-only bonus cast, join us at patreon.com/gamersweek.